Guten Shabbos Kodesh, Parshas Shoftim, Tafshanayin Tes, 779 for just a little bit longer. Pasuk in this week's Parsha starts off, Shoftim v'Shoftim Titin L'cha. Shoftim literally judges, Shoftim police officers. You have to take for yourself. You know, many times in life, most of our lives, for most people, most of their lives, they're not in yeshiva. They're not in that infrastructure of the safety net of being in yeshiva all day, or surrounded by your rebbeim and your derech all the time for most of your day. And at times you're going out to work, you're in school, you're out in the world, and when sometimes a person makes that jump, starts asking himself, how am I going to make sure, how am I going to protect, how am I going to ensure that I'm not going to fall, I'm not going to fail, I'm not going to lose my religious identity, my spiritual high that I feel when I'm in yeshiva. And I believe that the answer to that lies right in the first pasuk in this week's parsha. Quite literally, shoftim are judges. Judges set the law. Every person has to sit down with his rabbi, his mentor, his derech, Ra, and figure out with his unique set of circumstances, and obviously, spouse has to be included in this. Um, he has to set a path of what is the law for him, and these things are law, and he's not crossing these lines at no cost. He's just not these certain things. He's just not gonna do them because his values mean more to him. And the next step, once you have that set in stone of what your values are, comes the shoftim. Shoftim are the police, the cops, the popo, whatever you want to call them, whose job is to ensure that the law that's been passed and set by the judges is being kept and implemented, and you get in trouble when you're going against the law. So Chazal tell us, you have to sort of make a fence around that Torah. You spent years in yeshiva, you spent however long it was. You know, you gained a certain value of 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 Torah, of living Torah, and you got to create a siyug to that Torah to make sure you don't lose it. And we know that the Ramban says, a person will not fall, he will not fail unless it already comes to him through Shtus. Um, we need to realize that you're driving down the parkway on the way to do a sales meeting in a couple of towns over, you're going to see the billboards, right? You, you're not going to be in business and not use the computer. The the challenges. I personally, I live on the top floor of a building, and we have birds. Somehow, I don't know. Maybe it says Karlbach shortcut in the sky somewhere in bird language, because there are times when birds will come in on one side of the house and fly it on the other. I don't know what they're doing, but it's inevitable. And then, whether you want them to come into the house or you don't want them to come to the house, it's not, it's irrelevant, because if the windows are open, there's a chance they're going to come in. And now, what you're going to do when they're in there, that's a separate story. With birds, it's one thing. But in life, we don't get a choice of what challenges HaKadosh Baruch Hu sends us on daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, or throughout our life. The challenges that we face. What we are given is how we're going to respond and deal with these challenges. Sort of last week's parsha, it's Zachayim v'Satay v'Samav v'Sarah, right? V'Chayta v'Chayim. We have to choose life. That's what Kadosh Baruch Hu tells us, and really, that's really what we're doing here with the Shoftim, is to ensure to set boundaries, to set systems in place that when not if it, because it will happen, that you're on the subway and the person before you left the magazine on the seat next to you. There's going to be times where the Yetzer Hara, and as hard as you're trying to keep him out of your life, he will still keep coming. And as long as we live, we're gonna be having a Yetzer Hara. No matter what we try to keep him out, he will still figure out a way to get it. So it's not a matter of if he'll get in; he will get in. The question is, are we gonna let the bird fly in and out? Just because the Ruach Shtus came into a person doesn't mean he has to be a chayte. If he was chayte, it's because there was a Ruach Shtus there. But, and obviously we tried to figure out ways to keep the Ruach Shtus out. But when it comes in, right, are we going to close the window after the bird after the bird came in and not let it get out? That's crazy, right? Once it comes in, you got to figure out a way to get it out of the system somehow in a kosher way. And that's what the Shoftim are about, setting out how we're going to deal with the challenge when it comes up. Every once in a while, maybe Elul might be a good time or even the right time. Or just sit down with his Rebbe, with his Marid Derech, his mentor, whatever it is, and set that law and figure out ways to implement that law and keep it intact. And it's interesting because the pasuk says Shoftim v'Shoftim titein lecha. That's a lashon yachid. That's a singular term. That's not a plural term. That means you have to set these judges and police. It's got to be right for you. And only after you have yours straight, then V'shavtu es ha'am, can you judge the nation, and you'll see it'll be Mishpat Tzedek. Everybody's straight. Chaim Volozhiner said, when I was young, I said, I'm going to fix the whole world. I got a little older, I said, that's a little too big for me. Let me focus on fixing my community. And now I'm realizing when I'm very much older, forget the world, forget my community. I have to work on myself first. And that's really what it's all about. Shoftim v'Shoftim titein lecha, and then it's v'shavtu ha'am mishpat tzedek. We're coming towards Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur now. We're at the end of the year. We're a nice week into El. It's coming. Rosh Hashanah is coming. Sifrei Chaim, Sifrei Mavis, Mia Yoni, Mia Yasher. Right? Who's gonna have children or what? It's all gonna be open, decided, and sealed in a, in a few days. Rosh Hashanah and Kippur. And honestly, we can't go back this Rosh Hashanah and Kippur the same way we've been going till now. If we could just imagine we could come to Hashem, say, look, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, I get it. You decide what challenges I will have to face in my life. I don't get a choice in that, and I understand that. And whatever you give me, I'll take, and I'll take it with love. I'll take it with love because I know you're giving it with love, whether I see it or not. But here is how I will face the challenges that will come my way in the future. I promise you, Hashem, I'm trying not to fail. Look at the Shoftim and Shoftim I've set for myself. Look at these practical ways in which I'm going to try to keep myself out of trouble from here on in. And hopefully, that's Hashem, and that's us. I'll be Zeicha to Aksiva Chasima Teva. Thank you so much for listening. As always, any questions, comments, or feedback, you can leave in the comment section below. Have a Halak Zisa Shabbos.